Nis, you are aware that Caroline holds a degree in literature. Dr. Mose holds a degree in literature. Perhaps, Caroline, you can help explain or define said opaqueness.
I think that word was used in a very interesting way and at a very interesting time, because we had commissioners sitting in IEBC from Tuesday evening, essentially the process after we finished voting. And I remember on record as having said here, the longer this takes, the more we give room for all these kinds of shenanigans. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. When these people come and say the process is opaque, I think they were going for a word that meant the opposite of transparent. You know, so opaque, you know, milky, you cannot necessarily see through, you know, the glass because, you know, it's milky, it's shrouded in something. So that is what I thought they meant. But the context in which they use that word. You know, we distance ourselves from the result that is going to be read at Bomas because the process has been opaque. They are the only people who know what that means. Because when you say the process has been opaque, and we know that, you know, right at the outset, IEBC was very clever, I think, to open the public portal. Forms 34A were in full view. Anybody from Indonesia to wherever could download them, could see them. Forms 34B were online, you know, they were there. That is, I think, the key masterstroke that IEBC did in opening up the process for anyone to have access to. So when these commissioners come in and say opaque, we can only allude to the back end of the things that were happening. So the question now becomes, what did they mean by that? And they're the only people who can answer that. And I think them refusing to take questions and them refusing to actually say what they meant, I feel was a disservice. And all they did was just whip up anxiety and put paid, you know, to the rumors that there was monkey business, there were shenanigans going on at the back end, that something happened, and there were all these allegations that the IEBC chair was supposed to read these results at 3, and he ended up reading them at around 5:30, actually going to 6 p.m. And in between, there were all these allegations that he was a man under siege. You know, we could see a lot of some repugnant things going on screen. We saw legislators engaging the police in brawls. You know, a lot of sideshows. They even went online, you know, later and were using 4-letter words to describe the entire process. So for me, I feel that these 4 commissioners, one, distancing themselves at that point, late in the game, as the result was being led. For me, I thought that was very disingenuous. It was very dishonest, in my view, because if you've been sitting and actually issuing results all through, and then you come back at the end and tell us you're distancing yourself from those results, that, for me, there was a disconnect there. I felt that they were not being sincere with the nation. They should just have come out and said, this is the problem, if indeed there was a problem. And of course, now we are even asking ourselves, are these the 4 commissioners who are appointed by outgoing President Uhuru? You know, so there are all these questions rising up. And I feel, for me, that part of the drama is drama we did not deserve as a country, is drama that was unnecessary. And indeed, if this process has not been transparent, which is how they came in to use the word opaque, and there is evidence, then there is recourse in the law for that. But making these sorts of statements without any backup, without any context, for me, I felt was very irresponsible.